With DARUMA, I know you're launching a crowdfunding on Seed and Spark in October of this year, but did you also try to get a production company?
We've talked with a couple people. We've had interest. I mean, we've had a lot of people come to us and say, this is an amazing idea. Like, I love this. Who are you casting as the leads? And then when we say that we're actually authentically casting the disabled, our 2 disabled leads, enthusiasm fizzles. Because again, you've got to look at what translates to box office sales. So it's so much easier to attach a name actor to a script. And I mean, especially something that's got, these challenging characters to play. But I don't want to compromise the vision of this project. Like, the intent of it is to be a vehicle and a platform for underrepresented voices. And I want it to be the first of its kind. I mean, can you name another movie like this?
No, well, I can think of where there's been named actors that have played disabled individuals,
right.
but not, no.
It's very rare to see.
Except for Dodgeball, sorry. I mean, they did have, people with, I don't know if they were autistic or what, different, but Dodgeball had people that were
But the butt of a joke, right?
Yes,
yeah,
very true.
So disparaging.
Very true.
But, it's very rare to come across something completely new. And this is a story that has never been told before, and especially in the way that we're wanting to tell it. So that in of itself is very unique, and that's not something that I'm willing to compromise on, which is why we're going the hard route and we're doing this ourselves.
What roadblocks have you run into with DARUMA in terms of you've presented it to production companies, other things maybe that we're not aware of?
I mean, I think that's the problem most indie filmmakers running into is financing. So where do you get the money from? Like, how do you put this into reality? We've done 3 different budgets. We've done one at $1 million, we've done at $500,000, and then we've done this bootstrap one that we're going to be crowdfunding for in October. There's challenges with every project. So first of all, like, is your idea good? Can you get it on the page? Can you articulate it? Can you start finding people that believe in your vision? This has been something that we've been working on solidly now for the last 3 years. And we're right now at the point where we feel like we've gotten our platform and our village of people and supporters together. And we're ready to take the next step and attempt to raise the funds for production. But again, this is something that every project runs into is who comes up with the money. So
what are you learning from these obstacles?
Well, one, I'm learning that nobody is going to do it for you. You have to be able to do it yourself. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions and be prepared. If you're not good at pitching, then you need to become good at pitching. You need to learn how to tell your story, and you need to learn how to tell your story succinctly. I'm also learning to celebrate the small victories. Just because, you don't get from A to Z immediately, you can't neglect every step that goes in between. Like for us, getting our cast attached, our amazing cast attached, that was a win, that was a celebration. Then getting our film, our proof of concept shot. While we were doing that, the Woolsey fire was going on. Oh. We lost a location. Actually, we lost a couple locations during that because we were going to be shooting up in Agora Hills, and we ended up we called in a couple favors and begged, borrowed, and stole. That's terrible English. That's terrible. We begged, borrowed, and stole, but we ended up getting some new friends along the way who helped us. But it's very important. And actually, a friend of mine told this to me, a producer, a friend of mine, when I won the contest. It's very important to celebrate the small victories. When I was at USC, I had a professor, amazing on-camera professor named Joe Hacker, and he would coach young actors, how to go about their career. And he loved to tell the story about when he was younger and he was working on Broadway and he went up to his idol and was like, I want to be where you are. How do I get to be where you are? And the response was, you can't, but there are a million ways. And he always liked to tell us that, every small thing, every small success was one pearl on a very long strand. So you just have to keep threading that needle and finding the courage and the strength to keep going.
Great story. What does it take to get a Hollywood movie made?
I don't know. I haven't made one yet. I imagine it takes quite a bit of luck So, do you want to make Hollywood movies? I feel like I have some scripts that I've written that are certainly more commercial than the ones that I have, am working towards. But I think that as a young screenwriter, starting out, it's very important to establish your voice and your brand. I have a lot of fun projects that I don't spend my time working on or developing because I'm not there yet. Those could be the quote unquote Hollywood movies. I feel like at this point, I'm proving myself and I'm putting my work out there, and I've got to put my best foot forward. And, maybe a Hollywood movie isn't the thing that I want to build my platform on. I'm not looking to make a quick buck, don't get me wrong, being paid for writing is awesome. When I got my first check as a writer, I took a picture of it because it was an incredible feeling. But you have to consider that, you're in it for the long haul. It's very easy, I think, for a lot of people to burn out. And if you can find your voice and your passion and the things that keep your drive going, that will sustain a career.
Does it scare you to write non-Hollywood movies?
No, because I find that that's the thing that I tend to play in the most. Where I'm emotionally at, my headspace is at. The thing that scares me is writing, science fiction and things like that, because I feel like maybe I don't have the imagination to come up with the world, of this, maybe a post-apocalyptic or something. Maybe I would be very afraid of doing something cliche. How do you top Star Trek? How do you top Star Wars? And who am I to even try? But again, we go back to the point, great storytelling isn't about these set pieces, it's about the characters. So if you look at most science fiction pieces, they're actually stories about political turmoil or refugees or something like that. So again, go back to character, go back to your story.